Recently, the Hulk got nerfed in Marvel's Avengers, which I was actually watching the dev stream where they said they would be nerfing him, and my first thought was, why? The Incredible Hulk is the Incredible Hulk. If anything, he should be the one dishing out a ton of damage. Anyone remember Hulk, the strongest one there is? Well, apparently that's not the case in this game. Nowadays, someone running battery effect on Iron Man can do more damage than the Hulk. Heck, I'm pretty sure even Black Widow's heroics can do more damage than Hulk's now. Allow me to reiterate that. Black Widow, a character that doesn't even have superpowers, can easily do more damage than the Hulk now with the right build due to the heroic nerf. That is just laughable. So what got nerfed on the Hulk is his Thunderclap. The excuse they gave for it is that it was never supposed to do that much damage in the first place. There are already so many things wrong with that sentence. First of all, really? Nerfing the Thunderclap? That's quite possibly Hulk's most iconic move, and what made it so great in this game is that it worked exactly how you'd expect it to, but that's obviously not the case anymore. By making Hulk's most iconic move do 25% less damage, it just makes it look more and more like you guys don't actually respect Marvel Comics. I'm not saying that I don't think they do, I'm just saying you're really making it look like it. Another problem with this is that if it was never supposed to do that much damage in the first place, how did that even get past testing upon the original release of the game, and how is it only being corrected now, almost an entire year later? It's really obvious to me that that was just a lie. I think the real reason for it is that they're taking the easy way out on making the game more challenging. Instead of finding new ways to make enemies stronger or introducing stronger ones in the future, they just made a move less powerful so that it's harder to clear an entire room of enemies. This is also just a bad decision in general, as now a lot of people's Hulk builds are going to be outdated, and they may have to start off back from square one. So since they nerfed the Hulk of all people, I can see future nerfs happening to other characters. Personally, I think Cap or Thor will be next, as their heroics are pretty OP.
So OP.
So I specifically see them nerfing Cap's rally cry in some way, shape, or form. This clearly isn't a good thing, as the rest of this game's non-existent player base could get deterred from playing with massive changes like this. Personally, I'm gonna be one of those people in this non-existent player base. I recently decided that once I'm done getting pin particle gear that I'm looking for on Iron Man, I'm gonna make a heroic build on Thor. But now I've changed my mind on that, because what's gonna be the point of me grinding for hours on end just for his heroics to potentially be worsened in a patch? This is a very, very big reach here, but maybe the reasoning for it is that they're starting to consider and make preparations for PvP being added to the game. Although the chances of that being the case are extremely unlikely, I think it's about a 0.2% chance that that's the case, since not only have they said that PvP is not something that's being considered, but also if they are gonna have to make nerfs for PvP, they can just make the nerfs exclusive to PvP. I could use Disney Infinity 3.0 as an example, as that game had a Marvel PvP mode, and within that mode, character combos were shortened, the physics were altered, and certain other abilities were nerfed or even buffed on some characters, such as Iron Man's ultimate ability being changed from a gigantic missile barrage to a spinning laser swipe. Now, while I'm on the topic of PvP, I want to just say that there's two different ways this could be added to the game. Either A, this gets implemented into the harm room and it's considered the Avengers sparring with each other, or B, they could do some kind of Civil War DLC, although that's unlikely as a line of dialogue on A-Day hints at the fact that Civil War already happened in this game's universe. This is just a personal preference on my part, but I'd rather there not be Civil War DLC in the first place, as this would just be another MCU parallel, along with the fact that I think we've seen that storyline enough within the past few years. So if they were to do Civil War in this game, I'd honestly just roll my eyes and recite that GTA meme. I also just in general don't see PvP being added so soon. I see this being something that would be added later rather than sooner. I don't really see this happening until 2023 at the earliest. One more thing I'd like to mention is that if anything, I think Iron Man deserves a buff in the heroic apartment on the Hulkbuster's Unibeam, as it's very useless. It doesn't last very long, and it does about the same damage output as the regular Hulkbuster laser does. To buff it, they could just have it output more damage, or make it last longer, or they could do both. I do understand the reasoning for it being weak, as he has an entire Unibeam heroic that can do a lot of DPS, but I still think the Hulkbuster version can be a lot better than it currently is. Now of course I do enjoy the game, and I wouldn't even be making content about it if I didn't, but the game needs to take the steps in the right direction if it wants to keep players engaged, and as I stated before, I really don't think the Hulk nerf was a good step, as this can deter people from playing. My warning to you is to keep this in consideration as updates keep releasing. But that's the video, thanks for watching and take care.